Yo, the lies so that you never make it. Hopeless, so it seems. Eyes closed, canvas open wide to embrace your dreams. Sometimes you gotta take a loss just to get the win. Like lots of sin was popping in like oxygen when boxes wet. Focus on the mental, never lose like a smooth instrumental. Better choose on the move in a pinto. Choose when I get to, never lose smooth on the move, but it's simple. Never give up and we running it, maybe. We just keep winning, we conquering daily. Envision and pay me, it's never this way. We indigenous, maybe we winning, it's crazy. Your opportunity, your opportunity, your opportunity, it's your opportunity, your opportunity, your opportunity, your opportunity, it's your opportunity, your opportunity, your opportunity, your opportunity, it's your opportunity, your opportunity, your opportunity, your opportunity.
Yeah. Welcome one, welcome all, ladies and gentlemen. It is the Lion Villain Report. It is Tuesday. Usually it's PFF Tuesday, but we're not doing PFF Tuesday today. I think we're going to move that into the Hump Day show tomorrow because it is Victory Tuesday right here on the Lion Villain Report. And we are broadcasting live right now into the Lions Villain Squad Facebook page right now. We just hit 54,000 villains, on our way to 55,000 villains. Thank you to everybody that is liking, subscribing, and following the page. Thank you to everybody that is subscribing to the YouTube channel, which is at Lions Villain Squad. And we are brought to you always by NFL Shop and our affiliate marketing partners. And what you can do is you can use this code that I'm putting into the chats right now to go and grab yourself some of that sweet Lions gear that you saw at the game yesterday, or you can follow that QR code. And this show is brought to you by the NFL Shops, our affiliate marketing partner. So welcome one, welcome all. It is Victory Tuesday. How are you all feeling out there? Well, let's find out. The bad guy was the first one that was on here. I said, I believe I'll take some honey mustard on my dipping sauce for my crow. Go Lions. I was wrong after the injuries to the Seattle D-line. That's good that you eat the crow. You know, you can be wrong in this line of work where we come on here and we talk sports every day of our life, most importantly, the Lions football, and we're wrong sometimes. We're wrong sometimes. And then sometimes you got to come on here, you got to eat some crow, but we don't have to eat some crow this week, folks. We don't have to eat crow. We got 2 weeks. We're going into the bye 3-1. Gotta love that. Fred Peterson, good morning. It's a great day to be a Lion fan. One pride. Dwayne Keene up in the house. Bad guy. Bad guy. It's all good. I highly respect you for coming in here and taking the crow. But since you are here and the first, there is no need, bud. Trust the Lions team, my friend. Yeah, no negativity. We give you a hard time, bad guy, because I mean, it's easy to go find the not silver lining in a team or in something that you don't like about the team. But when Brad Holmes has been drafting the way that he's been drafting, and I know that it's not something that Lion fans are used to, but when we have injuries, the next man up actually steps up because we have drafted and developed players. So that's okay. That's okay. Let's go Lions. One pride, king of the North Division championship title, all grit, never back down. Now we are 3-1. You called it. There's something we still need to get cleaned up, but there's something that we still need to get cleaned up, but this is a winning franchise. It is. It is. And it's a long season. You know, some of the teams that are playing real well right now, they're not going to be playing real well for the whole season. You want to be peaking at the right time. And the right time is the end of the season when the playoffs start rolling around. And you got to collect enough victories during the season. And the Lions are 3-1. And I think that you're right, Fred. They got to clean up some stuff. The Lions are 3-1, and they haven't even played their best football game. And they will play their best football game before the end of the season. Maybe it'll be down in Dallas, getting another revenge. It's the Lions Revenge Tour. And if you came in, Lions beat the Seattle Seahawks on Monday Night Football, 42-29. And Geno Smith, from a statistical point, 38 for 56, 395 with a touchdown and an interception. And that was a pretty decent game. I'm not gonna. I mean, he did a good job, but he didn't do as good as he had normally done against us. I think that they were very fortunate to get as close as they did. And you know, I don't like to complain about referees, but I will complain about referees on wins because it wasn't the reason that we lost the game. So I am going to complain about it a little bit. What's up with all this stuff on Carlton Davis and all these PIs? Granted, there were a couple PIs in there that were absolutely legit, but there were some that you're trying to change the complexion of the game, refs. Get the hell out of the game. Make sure that everybody's keeping it there. But when it's all this close tic-tac stuff, you can't make those calls on third down. Taking momentum away from a team, the referee taking momentum away from a team. And I don't care about makeup calls. Got a makeup call at the end with that offensive pass interference right there. And that's fine whatever, however you need to justify it, refs, but get out of the game. You shouldn't have to do a makeup call. Just start making the right calls. Stop being so ticky-tacky and allow the defenses that want to play aggressive defense, play aggressive defense. I mean, DK Metcalf and Carlton Davis were going at it all day long. You could have called just as many offensive passes interferences as defensive pass interference. But that's all right. That's all right. You learn to persevere. You make it through. You come out no matter what, even if the referees aren't on your side. You come out with a 42-29 victory. You step on their throat. You put the game out of reach. Dwayne in here, Jared Goff was a perfect 18 for 18 and 1 for 1 with a touchdown from Amon-Ra St. Brown. That play was fire. And then Jared Goff gave one to Amon-Ra St. Brown. That was beautiful. That was beautiful. Lions had 2 passers with perfect 1 for 1 and an 18 for 18. Davey, good morning, One Pride. Henry Gray, absolute perfection. All you guys were in here from before. Subscribe to the YouTube page. Yes, that's what we would like you to do. Mark, good morning, Lion fans. Finally got Seattle off of our backs. Love it. I love it. It's a good, complete win all the way through. Congrats on the wins, but joking. Yeah, that's a good girl. Yeah. We try not to criticize wins too much on here, even if there were some things that were in there. No, but this was a really, really good win for the Lions in a couple of different ways. You know, for one, you forced them into some mistakes and some turnovers. I mean, Seattle's had their way coming in here the last couple of years. And like an offense that looks unstoppable at times with Geno Smith. And they did a lot better job this time around. I mean, like I said, that 38 for 56 for 395, that's a little bit deceptive because they did get a lot of help. They were playing against the Lions in more of a prevent type of deal at the end where you're holding on to a lead. You're not getting it all aggressive. In the first half, they were able to hold it down. And the Lions kept on scoring points. So, like I said, the defense let up a little bit in the second half from, because you don't want to make the biggest mistakes. And, he kind of made it cute at the end, but I was never really thinking that the Lions would lose the game. Like at any point in time, I never thought that they could come back. They got close a couple of times, but it didn't feel like that. And it felt like Kenneth Walker went off on us, and he didn't. Once again, the Lions hold the running back room. There isn't a running back that's rushed over 100 yards since 2022 in Khalil Herbert in that Carolina game where they gave up all those run yards. And 12 carries for 80 yards is a pretty good game against this Lions defense. But like I said, at the end, you're playing to not give up big passes, and they did get gashed on a couple runs. But that's all right. That's all right. It happens every once in a while. Paul Jones, good mornings. It's Victory Tuesday. Now, Monty gave you CTE, giving you a head, making that head, banging around that head in there. That intro song hit differently after an amazing win like last night. It did. It's the opportunity. Good morning and sharing. Thank you, Great American Sports Network. If you're going to share my page and you're going to share my show, then I'm going to give you a nice little plug. Great American Sports Network. Thank you. Bear Down Mice, nice wins. I did like those jerseys. Elise, happy October. Villains, what a game. We got 2 Bear fans in here. Go Lions. And Broski said if the Bears were at home and let up 3 rushing touchdowns and 395 passing and a TD, I wouldn't be concerned. I would be concerned, not giddy. Cornerbacks aren't good. Davison. See, here's Broski in here. Again, you're not following the rules. You're not following the rules. Why wouldn't you be giddy? Why wouldn't you be giddy? They came in and, you know, I'm going to complain about the referees, Broski. I'm going to complain about the referees because we won the game anyway, despite all of those awful calls on our defensive backs in that game. And let's look at what all of these receivers did. You know, DK Metcalf had a nice game in there. Tyler Lockett had 5 catches for 61 yards. 8 catches for Jackson Smith-Njigba for 51 yards, 6.4 yards a carry. That's a pretty good defensive back right there. The Lions were without our best defensive back in Brian Branch and were able to win the game anyway. I mean, what about the Bears giving up them rushing yards to the Rams? Wow. If I was giving up all them rushing yards to the Rams, I would be concerned, man. I thought that Bears defensive front was really good. Man, fortunate. Man, that Bears team is so fortunate. I can't believe it, man. They were giving up all them rush yards to Kyron Williams. And yeah, it doesn't feel very good, does it? We're not fortunate. The Lions won 3 games, are 3-1. 1 game better than the Bears. Good morning, Russell. Offense looked good, but the defense definitely didn't have their best game. That's called winning football, Mark. When the defense isn't there, then the offense steps up. The defense gave up 17 points a game for the first 3 games and carried the offense. And this time, and I wouldn't even say the defense really set out. The second half, they were protecting a 2-score lead, which makes your defense play a little bit better or makes your play a little bit different. And Goff set an NFL record. Man, Broski, quit crying. Quit crying about stuff, man. You're in here. You come in here crying yesterday. Now in here, you're crying about the Lions winning. Broski's still in here crying about the Lions win. Goff has more receiving touchdowns than Travis Kelce. I hate it what the league has done. They let wide receivers, not just DK, push off all the time. It's making the sport less fun while fans are catering to casual fans that want to see big scores. I can agree with some of that. They're trying to make it soft. They're trying to make it soft. The Lions definitely got to get better in not making those penalties and giving them second chances with penalties, with being too handsy. I don't want them to stop playing like that because they don't call it like they called it last night on every game or against every team. If you watch Sauce Gardner play, they let Sauce Gardner get away with that stuff all of the time, all day, every day, and they consider him one of the best DBs in the game. They let Jalen Johnson do it too. Jalen Johnson is a very physical cornerback, and they don't call him on all those PIs. And it's all the same thing. They're all hand grabbing within the first 5 yards and being physical with each other. Personally, I would like the referees to let them play more like that. Give the defense, some kind of advantage. I mean, that's not they want more scores. That's why I don't like that one. All Dan does is make players want to destroy barriers and glass ceilings right there. Goff's passer rating was 155.8. I did not know that. That's a crazy win. Yeah. Broski, a win is a win. Stop moving the goal post, please. Yeah, he does that every time. I'm not even going to give him, because he knows the rules when you come in. They did win, but we don't minimize wins on here. I'm not going to minimize wins. I'm not going to minimize wins. Broski says the Lions fans need to toughen up. I never heard a fan base cry so much about officiating. I love it. I love it. No, you come in here and you cried all day yesterday about officiating, and I don't cry about officiating. I'll cry after a win on officiating. So Broski's in here trying to fire up all the Lion fans. Don't even pay any attention to him. Laugh. LOL. It's better to win and fix issues than lose and fix issues. Great third quarter. Yes, I love it. The third quarter. A third quarter that didn't end in us going, man, these third quarters just keep on getting us. Yeah, you got to buck some of these trends right there. Nice win, but the next one is in Dallas will be even sweeter. A heel team off of a bye will destroy those Cowgirls. The Seabirds are just getting the monkey. Seabirds are just getting another monkey off of their back. I love it. My biggest concern is Arnold, our cornerback, needs to clean his hands up with the flags and grabbing the receivers. He leads the leagues in penalties for cornerbacks. Don't get me wrong. I know he's a rookie and he still needs to learn his defensive tackling is excellent. But I thought I heard last night it was the 8th penalty for the second or third game in a row. Hopefully they will address this issue, because we cannot continue to get silly flags and big moments of the games. Go Lions. And I agree with that, but I don't want them to stop playing different. I mean, the thing is they're not going to call that like that every time. Right now, it's kind of got that reputation, and they're just flagging the Lions on a lot of those PIs. They don't flag everybody on those PIs like that. I think out of all the penalties they had last night, I think that there was 2 or 3 of them that were straight legit. I mean, there was one of them where Terrion Arnold grabbed the guy. Those are obvious penalties. But these ones that are in the middle with all that ticky-tack stuff, you got to let these guys play football. I don't want to see it on the other side either. You know, I want Devin Witherspoon from the Seattle Seahawks to be able to play more aggressive. I just don't like this ticky-tack, grabbing the guy on the break corner stuff where it's really not impeding. Now, if you grab the guy and pull him down to the ground on a break, I get it. Detroit on fire. Goff didn't need our best. We have Goff. Well, that's the beautiful thing about this team. People out there act like you can have these perfect teams that once you've reached this spot that nothing ever happens. You reach this spot where, man, now we're just great forever. I mean, look at the ugly wins that the Kansas City Chiefs are having right now. Same thing every year. And then they get into the playoffs and then they go. Detroit on fire. Broski, hey Russ, I'm concerned and mentioned it before the game. The Bears giving up rushing charge. It's the truth. I'm not going to get emotional about it like you. I'm not getting emotional about it, Broski. You're just in here trying to ruffle feathers and just nitpicking our win. And that's fine if you want to do that, but I'm going to call you out for it. I'm not getting emotional about it. It's just it's an old tired bit to come in and minimize wins. I don't want to minimize your win. I don't want to be in here talking about it. I'm just throwing it back at you. So if that's what if you want to come in here and be an antagonist and then get on people for having an emotional reaction towards the BS that you're throwing out here. Yeah, the Lions gave up some rush yards when they were up 14 points, trying not to give up big passing plays. I mean, I'm not, like I said, I'm not going to get too salty. I'm not concerned about anything on a win. Of course, they're going to go and try to clean up stuff. It wasn't a perfect game. There aren't perfect games unless you're Jared Goff. You're just stating facts. Okay, I'm stating a fact. Jared Goff was 18 for 18. That's a fact. That's a fact. Jameson Williams, when you don't put a safety over the top, he's going to burn every team in the NFL. That's a fact. That's a fact. Could say the same thing about to the Rams. Swift had a great game. I'm not going to minimize your win. Congratulations to the Bears and actually really all of the teams that won, because this is Victory Tuesday right here. The Minnesota Vikings. What did you think about that win right there? So the Minnesota Vikings go to 4-0. The Lions were the only one to keep pace and are one game behind at 3-1. And the Lions come back from their bye, and then they play the Dallas Cowboys. And then I believe the Vikings game is right after that. Yes. So October 20th, we're going to have a showdown with the Vikings. Get that division game in there. So the Lions aren't going to play a game next week. Hopefully the Vikings are 5-0 when they get to that game, because I don't want them to, feeling like they need to get some revenge in that game, and, after they just had a loss and trying to bounce back and have a victory. But we'll see. Lions on a bye week this week. They're able to get, a couple of their players back. And I think that's going to be a big deal for the Lions. Not having Brian Branch on that defense is, really, it's like, hey, Bear fan, just function without Jalen Johnson, okay? It is next man up, and that's what you want. You want your team to win the game when your best players are out. If your best players are out, right? The Lions are without two of their best secondary players. I haven't had Ifeatu Melifonwu the entire season. And, Brian Branch might be the best defensive player we have besides Hutchinson. And some might even put him right there with Hutchinson as, we got our two best defensive players. So it's important that you have that next man up mentality. You have the next man up mentality. You realize that without some of your best defensive players, that your offense may have to score a lot of points. And that's what the offense did, is they were able to score a lot of points, and the defense was good enough to hold them at bay. So the issues for the Lions going into the bye week is getting healthy. Let's get healthy. Let's get Broderick Martin back. Let's get Brian Branch back. We're not going to get Iffy back anytime soon, but let's heal up these injuries. let's work on that secondary thing. Because really, like when I look at the secondary, I don't think the secondary's trash. I think they need to learn how to keep their hands in check. So spend 2 weeks in that DB room continuing to hone that in to work on those hands, because you don't want them to lose that aggressiveness in there. Good mornings, Lions Nation. Russ, I'm doing the same thing I do when the Bears win. You have to address issues, win or lose. You and I handle it differently, broski. We handle things differently. When you're talking about a Victory Tuesday, we're not going to go off on all of the negative things that were happening in the game. Because you can look at it like a negative thing. That's fine. If you want to be negative all the time, that's fine. That's up to you. That's your choice to be negative. But even the Lions themselves, when they go in and they fix these issues, what the way you look at it is these are issues, and you overcame issues. You overcame these issues. The secondary, the issues with it is learning how to use your hands. They're getting too many of the hands penalties and the holding penalties. And some of that's bad refereeing. I don't know. I think that a lot of that is, some of that is bad calls, tic-tacky calls. Because me personally, I would rather see them allow more aggressive play. But neither here. And the other part is you got to get better with your hands. But that's all stuff. You're going into the bye week now. We're going into the bye week, and you're going to get to work on these problems if you want to do it. You know, Ben Johnson had his best play calling game so far this year. Yeah. Let's talk about that, broski. You talk about how I never talk about problems, but yet all last week I was complaining about Ben Johnson and his play calling, saying I wish that he would run the football. I wish that he would use his offensive line more, because that's where the biggest advantage is with your team, with the offensive line. But I never talk about their problems. I'm just a slappy homer, according to Broski. People will complain no matter what. I feel that. I'm trying to create a different culture with this show. The bad guy, he says, I wish the bad DBs could be a little handsy, make wide receivers work for it, because I think Broski does penalties too much. You use your thunder thumbs, man. It's hard for me to read your comments right there. Ken says our defense secondary last night actually played pretty well, considering we had some players that didn't usually play. They did a hell of a job, and you are correct. You should play more prevent D so you don't give up the big play. The defense was impressive last night. Yeah, like even when you're looking at the biggest run, and it's a good play call, honestly. That's the way that the Lions beat the Bears last year. When they were down, they were running the football, and they were getting these big chunk yards to come back in that game, because they were thinking we were going to be passing. They did the same thing to us last night. That's how they got their rush yards. They got that big rushing touchdown from Kenneth Walker. And really, when you look at that, I can't think of how long. Let me look at that stat right there. But outside, it was like a 30-yard run that he had right there. They really did contain Kenneth Walker in that game. I mean, Zach Charbonnet, two rushes for 15 yards. Kenneth Walker, 12 rushes for 80 yards. And they got those in the second half. They didn't get none of that stuff in the first half. So the Lions defense played well when it needed to play well. And when you're out 2 leads, two scores, you're trying to get them to use time and get through it. Get through it. Good win, David. Let's go, Pride. Defense was tired in the second half. No, Brian Branch didn't help. First perfect game since 1939. There's a fact right there. I mean, you want to talk about facts? That's great to see Jared Goff turn that around like that, because he hasn't had a good first 3 games. You know, signs the contract. Then all of a sudden you're going, man, I hope he didn't just sign the contract and then all of a sudden he's going to fall off again like he did the last time. Lions could win the Super Bowl. 10 -7 people would be mad because they gave up 7. It is what it is. It's true. But when you got an antagonist in there, that doesn't help either. Branch will be back and Arnold will be better too. You got rookies out there. Broski, I partially agree. Sutton was decent, but he missed a lot of tackles last season and he got burned a lot. Neither Sutton or Davis are CB1s, in my opinion. They are and were playing the best that they can. I thought that the DBs played fine last night. I thought that they played fine last night outside of the penalties. Because the timely penalties, they scored 2 of their touchdowns based off of something to where they were given another set of downs through penalty. Meaning they got the 3rd down, they stopped them, and then there was a penalty that was called that gave them a new set of down when they were going to get off the field. That happened on 2 of their touchdowns last night. And that's part of the game. But you can't shoot yourself in the foot. As far as the technique and where they are tackling the guy right off the bat, they're pretty good at that. And that's probably the best trio of wide receivers the Lions are going to face all year. Shout out to Graham Glasgow for holding it down at the center position. Next man up, Randy. Next man up, Randy. Only thing I saw is Hutch getting held and doubled a lot, and no calls were coming our way. That's all right. We don't complain about the referees. We overcome referees. That's where we drafted Arnold and Rakestraw to take over that CB room and develop them. Take the CB 1 and 2 is the second hardest learning curve coming into the NFL. Man, some of them tackling and stiff arming had me thinking and watching Monday Night Raw and MMA last night. That goofy Anzalone and Walker non-tackle, especially. Every week, Kirby Joseph seals the deal with another game, a game-sealing interception. Man, the officials hate us. It's all right. That's probably why Dan Campbell's so aggressive. Everyone sees that and knows it. They do. We'll get another edge player during the bye week. That's a good call. Russ is saying that penalties on Lions DB aren't fair because Jalen Johnson gets away with it. This is odd. That is not what I said, Broski. Broski, you have to listen to the words. What Broski hears is what Broski wants to hear. And then Broski gets it in his mind what I said, and that's not what I said at all. I didn't say that the penalties aren't fair. I'm saying I wish that the NFL didn't call the penalties so ticky-tacky like they do. And I compared Jalen Johnson to the type of cornerback that plays physical up at the line of scrimmage, that likes to play man, one of the best man coverage corners in the NFL. That's what I compared him to. Yeah. You are so funny, broski. My God. Hey, what other words are you going to put in my mouth? I said Jalen Johnson is a physical cornerback, but now broski thinks I'm saying that the penalties aren't fair because Jalen Johnson gets away with it. You gotta make stuff up. I was happy to see Tim Patrick in the mix. Our offense is a problem for any opponent. You don't know what to stop. That is good stuff. I'm giving cornerbacks some slack. You have to be aggressive with the wide receivers that covered Kupp, Puka, Evans, Metcalf, Lockett. I mean, we have faced some amazing wide receivers. And the thing is you got to get better on that. The thing is, like, even though broski is mischaracterizing what I'm saying, it's like you have to learn how to use your hands to where you can get away with those little tugs and everything that they're getting called on. Jalen Johnson does it, and he's able to do it in a way where he doesn't get called. And I do believe that's a learned trait. You know, just like offensive linemen coming outside and holding the back. There's a certain they allow it to a certain point that, you know, there is holding on every play, but there's a certain technique to the holding. The college rules are much different than the pro rules. He's just got to get that down. As far as being physical to line of scrimmage, playing check, that's way better than Sutton was last year. That's where we are way better. Now the penalties are up. You got to get through the penalties. You can't keep giving first downs, but that's something that you can get coached out. You can coach out how to use your technique and use your hands. And both of them in there. And DK Metcalf is a dog. I mean, come on. I'm giving the okay. Oh yeah, we overlooked the fumble on Metcalf. Russell, did you enjoy the Anzalone body slam twice on Kenneth Walker? Those were some WWE moves if I've ever seen one. Time to take some Macho Man description of the tackle. Oh, the Macho Man comes in. Ooh, yeah. The Macho Man right there, Alex Anzalone, bringing the guy, dragging the guy down to the ground. But no. Oh, yeah. The Lions had him down for the tackle, had him down for the count. 1, 2. Oh, he kicks out. Yeah. And then he ran down the field for another 15 yards. The next time the Macho Man's gonna go to the top rope and he's gonna drive the heart right into the heart of Kenneth Walker, and then he won't be getting up and getting first downs. Yeah, dig it. That's what's gonna happen. Yeah. All right, there we go. There's the Macho Man impression right there. Oh, Larry, they need to stretch the field with JMO to keep defenses honest. Can you imagine catching defenses napping as they chase Montgomery and Gibbs and Laporta, and now Patrick down the middle, and then C.U. Williams with the safety? And that's what's happening. See, if you're expecting, let's talk about JMO for a minute. Now, JMO, 2 catches, 80 yards, and a touchdown, right? And if you're expecting JMO to be like this 13 catch for 200 yards every game right there, that is not the way they're going to use JMO, and that's not the way they should use JMO. As a matter of fact, look for more stat lines like yesterday for JMO for the rest of the season. JMO's not the type of guy you're going to target 15 times. You're just not. But what you are going to do is you're going to keep an eye on JMO, and when they sneak that safety up to try to stop Demo and Demo and Gibbs, then you're going to catch JMO on a crosser right there, and he's going to score a 70-yard touchdown. That's just what's going to happen. That's how you use JMO. So right now they are using JMO in the perfect way. That's what it is. Bears' biggest problem is the O-line and Waldron. And that's fine. You guys can talk about your problems in there, but the Bears got to win. So here's the difference between you and the way that you guys like to minimize wins and talk about your biggest problems and your biggest fears. The thing is like when you win, all of the things that you're talking about, you overcame. Now, just because you struggled in the defensive pass doesn't mean that you're going to struggle in 2 weeks when you play a different team. So the Bears' biggest problem is your coaching. So if you want to critique the problem, it's the coaching. It has been the coaching. That's why you went through 3 quarterbacks, and the quarterbacks seem to be able to go to other places and be good. It's what's going to happen to Caleb Williams if you don't fix the coaching. Now, you overcame. The Bears can play defense. The Bears can play defense and stop anybody. That gives you a chance to win every game that you play. Now, here's another good thing that's happening to the Bears. And I don't like saying this, but this is just the truth. Caleb Williams is learning how to be an NFL quarterback right now. Now, even though most Bear fans were way too homeristic about what Caleb Williams was going to bring to the table right off the bat, you're 4 games in now. At 2-2, you've gotten 2 wins with your boy, and your boy's getting better. I like the way the ball comes off of Caleb Williams' hands. He's got a quick release. He can get the ball right out to a playmaker. Nice zip on the ball. I mean, Caleb Williams can be good. He's just got to get the game to slow down for him a little bit. And he's a rookie. He's a rookie. So it's understand and your coaching isn't doing you any favors. So if Caleb can figure it out and make that offense an average offense, then I think the Bears can be dangerous. And talk about the O-line. I would say a bigger problem would be the O-line coaching, because you got players. You got young players. You just got to get them all on the same page. TA is playing great for a rookie. That might be a stretch. I don't know if he's playing great. He's playing without fear. I'll say that. He's playing without fear. Graham Glasgow played well, but how about Awasika? We expect from Glasgow, but Cody played exceptionally well for stepping up in the second string. That's what you call depth. Next man up. Next man up. Like I said, Frank goes out. Who needs Frank when you got Hank? Hank Fraley. Hank Fraley is the reason those guys are playing well. I hear that Mike Eberflush is not holding coaches and players accountable is the other issue too. Yeah, the Bears got the players, man. Poles, if he's smart, he's going to figure something out, and he's going to get the coaching staff in that he wants. You know, yeah. If you throw this first year in, you got Caleb going into a second year. I think that you retool that coaching staff. You bring in a bunch of guys at the same time. Get them on the same page. Get them on the same page. That's what you got to get. And I know that's easier said than done, but that's good. Stick like glue. Also, what the hell is up with Onzarike and a late hit and then the flop? costing the Lions a timeout, shaking my head. I'm not sure. On the late hit, it was a pretty BS late hit, if you ask me. I mean, like I said, I don't want to complain about the referees. Whenever I mention the referees, it is going to be on a win, because I'm definitely never going to come on here and say the referees costed us the game. You can't go there. There's other plays to be made. I mean, unless the referee call is on the very last play of the game and it determined the outcome. Like, even if I wanted to say last year, let's just say the worst one, that was the closest to that was the Dallas game, right? They screwed us, right? No, they didn't screw us. They screwed us on the call, but then the Lions still had a chance to either tie the game and take it to overtime, or to get a 2-point conversion try. So there was another play that happened after the Lions got jobbed on the call, which means that you got to take that element out. You got to overcome. You can't use that. So I wouldn't even say, even in the Dallas game, that the Lions got screwed over by the refs. Now, if you just want to call it that and you say, hey, the Lions should have won 13 games, yeah, that would have been a really, really big difference. What a huge call that was when you look at the history of what happened last year. But you can't use that. You can't use that. I hate going there and everybody asks, I love it for the fourth down, going for it, being aggressive. I mean, honestly, I think part of that is, the history in not wanting to get screwed over by refs. Like, when you're aggressive like that, you take the game out of the hands. You're going for it. You're going to put the game into your own hands. Now we can get this. Once we get it, then the game is in our control. We can kneel down with the ball, take the game out of there. What is your wrestling channel? Let me go grab that real quick right here, because I've been a little bit lazy on it a little bit lately, but let me grab this right here. I haven't been posting like I should be posting on there, but it's mostly because the football season is in full swing. But here, I'll put it in here. Facebook, right there. WrestleMania Pro Wrestling Talk is the name of my page. And I dig that right there. Justin didn't lose that Colts game. He balled out. Said the ultimate goal is to win the Super Bowl, and that's why you criticize wins. Always need to look to improve. I agree with that. I can criticize the win, but it's the way you criticize the win. You can. The thing is that everything that you're talking about when you're criticizing a win are things that you overcame within that game. So whatever you're trying to say, oh man, I'd be worried about the Lions rush defense. Oh, I'd be worried about the cornerbacks. They overcame it. They're 3-1. Three games they overcame all of their mistakes. And no team's playing their best football in week 4. Man, you're trying to get wins at the beginning of the season. You're trying to gel with the new players that are on your team. And so many people act like the last year's team, the team that you played last year, is the team that you're playing. It isn't. Bear Down Mike says the game's starting to slow down for Caleb, and he's taking what the defense is given to him. Bears coaching is the worst in the division by far, and the season is all about developing Caleb. think Caleb's going to be developing himself in a little bit. And the game is slowing down for Caleb a little bit. He's got to take what the defense does give to him. But his downfield accuracy is not good. He's good at taking the check down. Like him getting the ball out on the perimeter, he's really good at that. All right. So Davis actually had a good game last night versus Metcalf. I thought Metcalf would go off on us more than he did. Great job for Davis. He has improved week to week. Yes, Allen Robinson playing in Ford Field for the first time. Let's see. One funky Lions fan. Good to see you in here. Levi didn't get a late hit flag. He got a flag for driving Geno into the ground. Yeah. Which, I mean, I don't know. I don't know about that. I mean, you're in the middle of the motion of it. It was a piss poor call. It's a piss poor call in the middle of a big game like that. I didn't mess the score up, did I? $42-29. I got that right, didn't I? The refs called it fairly even last night. I don't agree with that at all. I believe that they did give us a makeup call, though. I believe that. I believe they gave us a makeup call at the end. So I guess when you look at it like that, I would say that the refs did call it evenly. But I hate that. I don't want a makeup call. I want you to call it. I want you to call it. No horse collars called if the QB is in the pocket. What's up with that rule? I thought the NFL wants to protect quarterbacks. That's what I thought last night. Mark says, I never criticize the refs. They're only human. They're doing the best they can. Good teams take the refs out of the game and they overcome bad calls. And that's the truth. That's the truth. And if I do criticize a ref, I'm going to criticize it on a win. And I'm never going to call it the reason you lost the game. Broski says, I was wondering about that too. He says, you're right, Russ. Caleb needs to overcome piss poor coaching and develop himself. And that's the truth. Everyone says, like, oh, man, what would happen if the Bears would have gotten Patrick Mahomes? It's like, well, you would have ruined Patrick Mahomes, and Mitch Trubisky may have 3 titles right now. I mean, the talent level is so funny where you think guys are so much better. And, you know, maybe not Mahomes. I mean, Mahomes is a unicorn. That's probably a bad example. But most quarterbacks are, you know, near the same level when it comes to skill and accuracy, but it's all what you're doing in the moment. PFN just bumped Detroit up to number 1 in their power rank team over KC. I don't know, man. Hey, Fred, my Jeep died. I'm glad that the Lions won because this morning has sucked so far. I'm sorry that you're going through that, buddy. I'm sorry. But the Lions did get a win. $42-29 over the Seattle Seahawks. Got that monkey off the back, you know? I mean, that's a big monkey on the back. 2012 was the last time. I mean, you're talking about Mikel LaSure was the starting running back the last time the Lions beat the Seahawks. And maybe that's the biggest reason, Broski, why I'm not criticizing the loss too much or criticizing the win. Because the Lions are taking narratives that have just been like, you know, big stinky, you know, poop smelling garbage that's just been hanging over the franchise, you know, as they remove these stenches out of the house, and I'm talking like the stench of not winning a division title in 30 years. That's a stench. You know, the stench of not winning in Lambeau all those years and then finally getting that monkey off the back in, you know, 2022 in a meaningful game. Not beating winning teams. Not beating teams that have a winning record. That was a big thing when Stafford was here. Oh, you can't beat teams that have winning records. Okay, well, this team can. You got to remove those things. You know, Minnesota had won a bunch of games in a row, and then you had to put a stop to it. Chicago had our number for a bunch of years in a row. You had to put a stop to it because it just feels like it's a certain way after a while. Seattle had our number. You know, the last thing that I wanted to see was one of those dog walking memes with Geno Smith walking the Lions. I hate it. I hate those things. I want to see those stupid little narratives go away. And now another one is gone. Another one of those stupid narratives is gone. Stupid monkey. The stupid monkey. Another thing, a monkey off of our back, Mark, is the fact that we can't win with the black jerseys. When they made the black jerseys in the first place, the first thing that the Lions did was like lose 13 games. So everyone's like, oh, I hate the black jerseys. Well, yeah, because you didn't see victories in them. If you can see a victory in them, then you're good with it, right? But now they got to win with the sweet-looking black jerseys. So now everybody's recency bias goes, yeah, those black jerseys are awesome. Guarantee there wouldn't be anybody on here thinking those black jerseys were awesome if Geno Smith would have walked his line across the street. We like the black jerseys because they won. And you're going to like this team the more and more they win. That's it, you know. The Lions aren't used to winning. The PTSOL creeps in. But I didn't really have that much PTSOL last night. There were things that were making me upset about the game. But at no point in time I thought that the Lions were going to, you know, steal defeat from the jaws of victory, you know, and have it down. So this is the Lion Billing Report. You can join me every morning at 10 a.m. talking Lions football. Tomorrow I might even talk some Tigers baseball. We'll have to see how they do it again. Good luck to the Tigers today as they start playoff baseball. That's pretty cool. Tiger fever. Tiger mania. Hey, Beavis. Shut up.
Yeah, Lions are so cool. Yeah. The Seahawks, yeah, they had our number. Yeah, they had our number.
Shut up, dumbass. They don't have our number anymore.
Mama said the foosball is for the devil. Mama said
Mama says foosball, and Mama said the Detroit Lions are like a choo-choo train, and the company, woo-hoo! You'll see. Christopher Walken is here right now, and he would say, "It's Lion's villain report. Lion, the king of the jungle. So we got a huge mane on this lion. It's a Lion villain report at 10 a.m. You should watch it. It's be good for you. Could be good for you. It could be good for your life if you watch the Lion's villain report." Broadcasting live into our Facebook page. Thank you to everybody that follows, likes, subscribes, shares this content into their platform, helping us reach more people. We appreciate that. Subscribe to the YouTube page. That's at Lions Villain Squad. Brought to you by NFL Shop, where affiliate marketing partners. Use our code, get 25% off of your order. Grab yourself a hat, grab yourself some stuff. It's faith, family, and then football. We use football to spend time with our family and create memories. We don't let football use us. May the Lord bless you. May the Lord keep you. May the Lord shine his face upon you until we meet again tomorrow for Lion Villain Report. Peace out.
Hey, yo, the lies so that you never make it. Hopeless, so it seems. Eyes closed, hands open wide to embrace your dreams. Sometimes you gotta take a loss just to get the win. Like lots of sin was popping in like oxygen when boxes wet. Focus on the mental, never lose like a smooth instrumental. Better choose on the move in a pinto. Choose what I get to, never lose smooth on the move, but it's simple. Never give up and we running and maybe we just keep winning, we conquering daily. Envision that pay me, it's never this way. We indigenous, maybe we winning this crazy. Your opportunity, your opportunity, your opportunity, it's your opportunity, your opportunity, your opportunity, your opportunity, it's your opportunity, your opportunity, your opportunity.